All right, and welcome to my Halloween Horrorthon for right now, and it's going to be one of the quicker ones that I did. That I just watched a one of my Vinegar Syndrome films. I was waiting to watch four actually for this, and I actually think I've seen this one before. This one came out the year I was born, 1971, so pretty old there now. But anyway, so I watched Point of Terror, and I was actually going to watch Blood Mania. I was going to watch both of them. It's like after 2 in the morning right now, so I decided I'd watch one of these tonight. And Point of Terror had this kind of neat little killer on this. I have no idea what that is, because it's not really in the film. So this here's a Pete Carpenter double feature. Pete Carpenter was an actor. If you're a fan of Russ Meyer, then you may know Pete Carpenter from the movie Vixen. He played the Mountie in the movie Vixen, which was actually the first like Russ Meyer movie that I ever saw. I was a really big fan of that film. I didn't realize until I got about like 10 minutes in. Now, Planet of Terror starts out with Pete Carpenter. It's like, I think he's like 6'2", 6'3", somewhere around there. So he's a big dude, right? And he's wearing like this frilly show Brady Bunch musical hour type of outfit, and he's shaking and singing a song, and I'm like, what the hell have I gotten myself into? This as quite, but you know, it's one of those 70s songs, and it is him. He plays a couple songs, he sings a couple songs, he plays a singer of this, so he sings a couple songs within the movie. Apologize, I'm a little tired. So basically, the story is that he's he's singing a song, and he has this like this dream about being about being killed, about murder, about like sex. And Tony is like, he's a singer. He's one of these guys that's always wanted to make it big, and he's had a hard life. Now, when he wakes up on the beach, he meets this older lady, not that much older, but like a little older lady, very attractively. It's actually Diane Thorne from Ilsa fame, and she's the kind of like the lead in this one. So we got like Diane Thorne, Pete Carpenter, Leslie Sims is in this one as well. I think she's in Blood Mania too. Now, basically, he's a singer, and he meets up with this girl, her husband, Diane Thorne, and she's like a record, like kind of her husband's a record producer. He owns a lot of stuff. They have like the biggest record company, National Records, and her husband's in a wheelchair. We find out through kind of a flashback that she did help her husband kill his other wife that wouldn't give him give him a divorce, and now she's stuck with this guy, and he's in the wheelchair, and he's pretty miserable. It's actually a really miserable dude, but she's not much nice herself. But you see her like kind of like really like getting into Tony and going to see his shows and like saying, and basically Tony says, if you want me, put your money where your mouth's at, get me the record contract, we'll hang out. She does it. She gets on the phone, gets in the record contract, and they start this whirlwind affair. Eventually, Tony ends up staying over there till like 4 o'clock in the morning one night, and right after he leaves, the husband comes down in his wheelchair. He gets in this fight with Diane Thorne, and it's a physical fight, but she's like kind of like mocking him. So she's got this like red type of, I think it's a blanket or a coat or something like that. And she's going like Toro type of thing. I'm not kidding. This is happening. And he eventually, what happens is it's by a pool. So can you guess what's going to happen here? Yeah, he falls into the pool, and she just watches him. She watches him drown because the guy's paralyzed. He ain't getting out. After that, we see like Tony at the funeral, and then this girl shows up, and it turns out that he has an adult daughter that not Tony, but the guy that died, the dude that died, basically has an adult daughter that's come to the funeral. And she's attractive, and she catches Tony's eye a bit, but Tony is like focused. He's got his eye on the prize, so he wants the voluptuous Diane Thorne. He wants to marry her. and he puts that across. She kind of laughs at him. She doesn't. She thinks he's fun, but he's a singer. He's not the class type guy that she wants. Like, he's good on her arm for eye candy. He's the gigolo type for her. That's what she sees him like, and he really resents that. So he threatens her because he tells her that he saw her and what happened at the pool, that she let her husband die. But then she counters with, basically, if you say that you saw me, I'll say you're in on it, and who are they going to believe? So he's stuck. He's got there's nothing out of that. All spoilers, by the way. If you're watching my Halloween Horrorthon, you know there's going to be all spoilers. So she decides to go away. She goes away for a month, and he sees her friend, played by Leslie Sims, who's like she's always drinking that. They're always drinking. Both Diane Thorne and Leslie Sims in this movie are always drinking. They're kind of like think of like the Ab Fab guys, except like a little bit darker because this one killed her husband. But he brings her back to the because she's sitting for her friend, and this the girl's an adult, so she doesn't really need, like, she's just like 19 or 20, so she doesn't really need like a somebody watching over her. I guess Diane Thorne has to trust her. So basically, he comes back to the place, and he sees her again, the daughter. And Tony's a smart guy, and he starts to. She offers him like coffee, and he says no. But later on, they meet up again, and before long, Tony and the daughter they're hitting it off. But the thing is that Tony actually really is falling for this girl. So you feel at the beginning of it, like the relationship that he actually. And he probably was actually kind of like using her because he wanted to get farther ahead. And things kind of steamroll, and they actually end up getting married. Now, to backtrack, something I should have told you in the first place was Tony was seeing this girl named Sally at the beginning of the film that worked at this bar basically that he sang at. And near the end of the film, you find out that she's pregnant. And he finds out that just as he's going to get married. So he tells her, go take care of it. And he gives some money, basically, that type of thing. And we hear, she was off, she's crying, she's upset. So Diane Thorne's character comes back. She confronts Tony. She tells Tony that because the girl got married before the age of 25, she's gonna lose her inheritance. So he's out of luck when it comes to the money part of it. And surprisingly, Tony doesn't care. He says, I'll find a way to take care of her. Once the record comes out, we'll do okay, because he's been cutting the record. She says, if the record comes out, and she kind of threatens him with that. And he says, I'll find a way. Whether I got to go back to the dives and work my way up again, I'll get there. I'll eventually get there. And they have an argument. She kind of pleads with Tony. This is Pete Carpenter wrote this film, the guy playing Tony. So everybody loves this guy. So she's pleading with him. She's holding onto his leg and stuff like that. She said, I killed my husband because I wanted to be with you and all this stuff, which didn't make sense from that scene before, where she kind of at least shrugged him off. But now she's saying, you can take care of both of us. You can be married to her, and you can be having sex with both of us. She doesn't have to know anything about it. And at this point, maybe I'm like, that's not a bad deal. But he's like, no, can't do that. And she gets into a fight, and he tries to shake her off, and she goes flying over this cliff, way over the cliff. Now, she's been drinking. She's had like pills in her system. So it's just ruled an accident, basically. They don't think it's a suicide. They think she just drank too much. And Tony's in the clear. Just as Tony and the girlfriend are going away for a couple months, Tony gets a phone call. And we kind of know who the phone call is from. We know it's from Sally, but it's not really like explicitly said. Now, it cuts really kind of like shakily, haphazardly, and we don't see like what the conversation that Sally and Tony had are, but we just see Sally shooting Tony, killing him, and because I guess lost the kid, the abortion, whatever, she kind of flipped out, and then we see Tony go down like he's dead, just like, and we saw this like kind of similar thing at the beginning of the film, and then we see Tony wake up and he's on the beach, just like he was at the very beginning of the film, and he hears the voice of Diane Thorne introducing herself as, "Hi, I'm Andrea." So it just went to this like circle where you don't know if Tony's like, maybe Tony did something in life that's causing this purgatory. Maybe where he is part of this. There's this whole purgatory thing going on where he's basically reliving his life again, over and over in this like this or that portion of it. Or maybe he just had a bad dream, and this will be kind of like a premonition of what's going to happen if he keeps down this road with Andrea. But you kind of get a feeling that Tony's the type of guy that whether he's dreamed it, and he's like he's seen it before in his head, he's going to go for it anyway. Tony's the guy that's going to go for it. So what did I think of Point of Terror? And why did I watch it tonight? Well, I was on the Code Red website. I was on Screen Archives during the Code Red sale. And there was Code Red, and there's a couple Scorpion releasings that were on sale as well. And one of them was Point of Terror. And I actually had it put in my cart to pick up. And then I realized, so wait a second, Point of Terror sounds really familiar. Why does this sound familiar? Yeah, and I remembered. I picked up the limited edition Blood Mania Point of Terror Peter Carpenter double feature with the extra television version of the films on the third disc. So I had to watch it. I was like, okay, I got to watch this film. It's like around 80-something minutes long. I had planned to watch both of them tonight, but I got later. Point of Terror is by no means a masterpiece or anything like that, but it's a fun film. I mean, I can't say I was bored. It's an exploitation film. There's some cheese. There's a lot of cheesiness. The 70s singing and hearing the song over and over and over again. Oh my God, I didn't mind the song, but man, they played ad nauseum. Unfortunately, just a couple months after Point of Terror would have its premiere, Pete Carpenter, he passed away. He passed away at a young age. He had planned, to do many more movies, and from what he did, the guy was charismatic enough. He was a decent enough actor. I could have seen I wouldn't see him become a big actor, but doing these type of films, and doing them pretty well. I would have definitely, if he would have done, there would have been a lot more. I probably would have been one of those guys that would have a Pete Carpenter collection of films, because I do like these kind of not too long, just fun films. You can put them on and watch them. And I had a decent cast. Leslie Sims in it. Diane Thorne's here. I love Diane Thorne. I had a huge crush on her back from the Ilsa days, actually. So it was kind of cool to see that. Now, the guy that plays the husband is fairly unlikable, but I'm guessing he's supposed to be unlikable. Now, there is no commentary or anything for, the crux of all the features are for Blood Mania. This apparently the more well-known one, and I will watch Blood Mania. I might watch it the weekend so I can actually review that one as well. But Point of Terror was a fun film. I enjoyed it. It's an exploitation film. There's not a lot of gore in this film. You're not going to see that type of thing. It's not a slasher film or anything like that. This is not a Pete Walker film. This is a Pete Carpenter film. It's very much Pete Carpenter centric. The ladies love the Pete Carpenter. You can see lots of Pete Carpenter. You can see Pete Carpenter doing his dancing. You can see Pete Carpenter doing his singing. You can see Pete Carpenter wooing the ladies. Pete Carpenter is the man. If you don't believe it, Pete Carpenter will tell you that Pete Carpenter is the man. But he does a good enough job. Everybody's does a decent job by acting wise within the film. It is a fun film. I really, really enjoyed it. And it's one that I would watch again. So I'll be honest with you, Point of Terror is at the 80-something minute mark. Yeah, I'm more than likely going to be watching this one a few more times. I just like movies like that, movies that are fun that you can put on, and now that I've seen it, and I can watch it, and I can also watch it kind of in the background type of thing. I'm actually kind of interested in seeing Blood Mania now, because Point of Terror was actually so fun, and I love seeing Diane Thorne. And yes, if you're wondering, this is an exploitation film, so yeah, there's nudity, there's and it's not it's nothing graphic. It's not graphic. Sex scenes like that, but there's nudity, and there's very soft sex scenes. but it's good nudity. It's Diane Thorne levels of nudity, and there's another girl too that's really that plays Sally. She's gorgeous as well, and she delivers in in that manner as well. So Point of Terror, a different one for me tonight. Not as horrific as I thought it was going to be. When you hear like Point of Terror, you think, okay, terror and more of a thriller type thing. But I guess this is it's probably the least horrific review I'm going to have for the Halloween Horrorthon. But still, I did enjoy it. It was a fun film. I would watch it again. Point of Terror, Pete Carpenter, Diane Thorne, Leslie Sims. Fun little film. Thank you guys so much for watching. I got to grab some tea right now. I'm debating watching another film before I go sleep. It is a weekend, so I can't stay up extra late. Have a good evening, guys. And happy Halloween month.